Ever stumbled across a name, a phrase, an acronym, and just felt that nagging curiosity? That little itch in your brain that says, I need to know more. Maybe you saw it in a document, heard it in a meeting, or perhaps, like many of you, you've encountered it online. Roger Bank. It sounds official, doesn't it? Like it should be something important, something established. But what is it? Is it a real institution? A quirky internet meme? A code name for a secret project? Let's be honest, the internet is a wild west of information. Sometimes it's a goldmine, and sometimes it's a rabbit hole leading to nowhere. You type Roger Bank into a search engine, and you might get a mix of results. Some forums speculate, some articles seem vague, and others, well, they might just be entirely fabricated. So, how do we cut through the noise? How do we get to the bottom of this? Before we dive into the mystery of Roger Bank, let's take a moment to understand why these kinds of questions pop up in the first place. We live in an age of acronyms and abbreviations. Everything from government agencies to tech companies loves to condense their names. It saves time, it sounds sleek, and sometimes it even adds a touch of intrigue. Think about it: NASA, FBI, CIA, even simple things like LOL or by the way. We're surrounded by them. And then there's the human element. We love puzzles. We love the thrill of discovery. We love the feeling of knowing something others don't. When we encounter something unfamiliar, our brains naturally try to make sense of it. We look for patterns, we try to connect the dots, and we often fill in the blanks with our own assumptions. Now, Roger Bank has a particularly interesting quality. It sounds like it should exist. It evokes images of a traditional financial institution, perhaps even a historical one. The name Roger has a classic feel, and Bank is, well, self-explanatory. This combination creates a sense of legitimacy, even if there's no concrete evidence to back it up. So, let's get down to the brass tacks. What is the full form of Roger Bank? Here's where things get interesting, and frankly, a little anticlimactic for some. The truth is, there is no widely recognized, universally accepted, official full form of Roger Bank. It's not a standard acronym like those government agencies we mentioned earlier. It's not a registered financial entity. However, that doesn't mean the phrase is completely meaningless. It's more accurate to say that Roger Bank is a phrase that's been used in various contexts, often with different interpretations and no single, definitive origin. One theory suggests that Roger Bank is a placeholder name, a generic term used to represent a financial institution in hypothetical scenarios or examples. Imagine a textbook explaining banking procedures or a legal document discussing financial regulations. Instead of using a real bank's name, which could lead to legal issues or imply endorsement, the authors might use Roger Bank as a fictional, neutral entity. Another possibility is that it's simply a piece of folklore, a phrase that's been passed around and misinterpreted over time. Like an urban legend, it might have started with a kernel of truth, a real event or document that was then distorted and embellished as it spread. The name Roger itself adds to the confusion. It's a common name, and it could be associated with any number of individuals or businesses. There are even historical figures named Roger who were involved in finance or trade. This could lead to misinterpretations and assumptions. In some online communities, Roger Bank is used in a satirical or humorous context. It might be a way to mock the complex and often opaque world of finance, or to poke fun at the tendency to create grandiose-sounding names for mundane things. The lack of a definitive answer to the Roger Bank question highlights an important point about information in the digital age. We're bombarded with data from countless sources, and it's not always easy to separate fact from fiction. Critical thinking and healthy skepticism are essential. Instead of focusing on a single, elusive full form, it's more productive to consider the context in which the phrase is used. Ask yourself, who is using it? What is their purpose? What evidence do they provide? For example, if you see Roger Bank in a financial news article, it might be a reference to a specific case or a hypothetical situation. But if you see it in a forum post or a social media comment, it might be a joke or a piece of misinformation. It's also crucial to remember that language is dynamic. Meanings evolve over time, and new phrases and acronyms emerge constantly. What might have been a meaningless placeholder a few years ago could become a widely recognized term in the future. So, what have we learned? Roger Bank is not a standard acronym with a fixed meaning. It's a phrase that's been used in various contexts, often as a placeholder or a piece of folklore. The lack of a definitive answer highlights the importance of critical thinking and context awareness. Instead of searching for a single, elusive full form, it's more productive to focus on understanding the context in which the phrase is used. Look for clues in the surrounding text or conversation. Consider the source and their purpose. Perhaps, the real full form of Roger Bank isn't a set of words, but a symbol of our collective curiosity, our desire to understand the world around us, and the challenges of navigating the vast and often confusing landscape of information. It's a reminder that not everything has a simple, straightforward answer. Sometimes, the most interesting questions are the ones that lead us down unexpected paths, prompting us to think critically and explore new possibilities. It's also a testament to the power of language and the way phrases can take on a life of their own, evolving and adapting to different contexts and interpretations. Instead of being frustrated by the lack of a definitive answer, we can embrace the mystery of Roger Bank. We can use it as an opportunity to learn more about language, information, and the way we make sense of the world. So, next time you come across Roger Bank, don't just dismiss it as meaningless. Take a moment to consider the context, ask questions, and explore the possibilities. You might just discover something unexpected. And who knows? Maybe one day, Roger Bank will become a widely recognized term with a clear and definitive meaning. But until then, it remains a fascinating puzzle, a reminder that the world is full of mysteries, both big and small. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.